Caleb Williams and his dad, there's a book coming out, and in this book, his dad said Chicago is the place.
Give Wickersham some props. It's Seth Wickersham's book.
I was going to
It's
give
not
him
just
props.
like some Dr. Seuss book. It's a book.
The places we'll go.
Right.
Seth Wickersham has a book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. And in the book, a little preview, Carl Williams, Caleb's dad, said Chicago is the place quarterbacks go to die. And then Caleb said, do I want to go there? I don't think I want to.
His dad is called the Truth Williams? What?
And I think as you read more and more of the quotes, it's stuff that I wonder if Caleb Williams regrets saying, or is the narrative like, you ever have the mindset of like, yo, I didn't want to come here, but now I'm here, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it matters, man. I really don't.
If you're a Bears fan,
did
did this leave you butthurt if you're a Bears fan?
No.
Based on
what are you, a sports baby?
Based on the history of Justin Fields and Trubisky and all the people that have.
Dude, what does Chris Rock say? Just be happy you're with her now, right? Just be happy you're with them now. Just be happy that he's a Bear now. You're going to cry about it because he didn't like them? I'm sure it's a different story now. It's like Shedeur Sanders with Cleveland. You think that was his first choice? It wasn't his dad's. If you go back to 2018 and read the tweets.
Yep. Well,
right?
I don't
Deion
want
Sanders like, I don't want my son. I'd never let my son play in Cleveland.
Well, guess what?
That's what happened. They're going to make the best of it.
Well, Jinx, guess what? Carl Williams said, quote, I don't want my son playing for the Bears. So Primetime and Carl Williams have something in common. Their sons ended up playing on teams that they were like, I don't want my son playing for that team.
My parents didn't want me moving to California either. And look at us. We're prospering out here. It's great. Sunshine. Am I right? Palm trees.
I miss you, Steven.
What other job sectors are there where the employer chooses you, but you don't get to choose the employer? Usually it's a two-way street.
I was saying, didn't your mom say, I want him on ESPN or NBC Sports?
She never said that.
No, she never said that.
She never said. She let me go out and make my own choices and apply to wherever. And I like, if you're a Bears fan, wouldn't you just be like, yeah, I don't know if Daddy Williams is wrong here, because it's kind of like we haven't had a really big time quarterback for about 40 years.
Hey, let me ask you this:
since Jim McMahon had sunglasses on and was doing the Super Bowl shuffle, the Bears haven't had.
They've had
success.
Rex Grossman, they've had Jay Cutler, they've had a little sprinkle of success with Mitch Trubisky, but they haven't had someone obviously Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen.
Yeah, they haven't had a superstar.
They haven't had a superstar for a long time,
and he has this type of potential for sure.
But
so they're
twist
just going to embrace
Camino?
him regardless of what he thought previously.
Do you twist it and say
what his dad said?
Do you twist it and say, yo, man, there's been times where I think it's fair when someone's like, I came here and didn't think I was going to love it, but you know what? Now I do.
Yeah, because that's believable. Where you live right now, was that your first choice? No, you're like, man, the place I really wanted, someone else bought it. But you know what? I got this place, and I made it my own, and I'm really happy. It worked out for the best. I can't even imagine living in another place, because this place, man, I absolutely love it. You don't feel that way about certain things in your life?
Some people have their eyes set on a college when they're a young kid, right? Like,
absolutely.
I want to go to Penn State, and then you don't get in, and you're like, well, I went to Rutgers, but you know what? I met my wife and my best friends at Rutgers.
You're like, you know what? The universe had a different plan, and it worked out, and I can't even imagine playing anywhere else. I believe that to be true. It doesn't matter at all. It's a fun story, and it's cool to know the truth and the backstory, but I don't think it matters to the fans or what his output is going to be or his legacy is going to be with the Bears at all.
So let me ask you this. There's the twofold question we'll answer and move on because there's plenty of other stuff to get to. But if you're a Bears fan.
Why don't you go trifold like Spotty's wallet?
All right, I'll give you three questions.
Give me three.
With Velcro.
Yeah.
Number one, if you're a Bears fan, does this bother you even a little?
No. You're not marrying Caleb Williams. He's not your wife. Why does it bother you? He's on your team. He's going to make the best of it.
And based on the history of your team and the coaches he didn't want to play for are no longer there. So you could almost argue.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
That you can almost argue that he's like, I don't know if I could play with this coaching staff. In fact, there were also parts of this book previewed where he was watching film and they didn't even tell him what to watch and what to do, and he felt very misguided in a way.
By the way, if you really want to play stat boy, I would say 90% of people in sports don't play for the team they really wanted to because they all had childhood affiliations that they rooted for. So they were probably like, yeah, I wish one day I could play for the Steelers. That didn't happen for everybody.
You know, that broke my heart, Iowa Sam, Bree, when I met my hero, Joe Montana, years ago. I was like, Joe, do you know how much you meant to me? In fact, I told Joe Montana that I wore his pajamas when I was a kid. That was embarrassing.
You know what he said? I remember I was there. He goes, I hope you still don't wear them.
I loved Joe Montana as a little boy. I had the starting lineup figure. I had a poster on my wall until I graduated to my Cindy Crawford poster. In my bedroom was Joe Montana. And when he told me, he's like, yeah, I was always sort of a Steelers guy. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I played for the Niners, but I was a Steelers fan.
So that's what I mean. You
what?
You think the 49ers were his first choice? No, he was super pumped about it, made the best of it, and he became a 49er. But it wasn't like his first thought or dream, I doubt. So it's not that really big of a story, even though it is.
Layer A was, do Bears fans care? You're going to say no. Layer 2.
They're just happy they have him now.
In life, your job, your relationship, opportunities you've got personally and professionally, are you interested at all in the backstory of like, well, we were going to hire this guy, but we didn't, so we went with you. Hey, yes. I wanted to date this guy.
Yeah,
but
it's interesting. Like before I got into radio, I was waiting tables at Bennigan's, and I was this close to becoming a firefighter because I thought my radio career would never prosper. And look at me now, in for Dan Patrick. Oh, my goodness.
Where's your mustache?
No, seriously. I wanted to be Mr. August in the calendar.
He just wanted to be in the calendar.
I just wanted to wear the suspenders, but only the suspenders. But, yeah, the backstory to anything is always cool. Isn't that why you watch any documentary?
I'm going to give everyone in Chicago a little hope because they already have great deep dish pizza. They have a great city. They have a lot of great things in Chicago. The Bulls in the 90s, which we're going to talk about in a second because there's a Michael Jordan story we want to get to.
They gave us the Pope.
They gave us the damn, they gave us the damn 90s Bulls and the Pope and Deep Dish and Lou Malnati's. And listen, Chicago's a great place.
Disturbed, Chevelle, lots of great music.
Yeah.
Peter
Dyed
Cetera,
Rivers, Green Rivers.
25 and 6-4.
I mean, a lot of good stuff out of the
Abe
city of
Froman, hello.
Sausage King, Wrigley Field, the Cubbies. Chicago's great. I'm going to tell you why it's okay, Chicago, because this Caleb Williams story might just be the funny, happy ending where when you guys finally make some playoff runs and maybe get there, maybe win your first Super Bowl since the Super Bowl Shuffle, you'll go back and be like, and it's so funny, Caleb didn't even want to be here because that is the backstory, my friends.
That's the story.
That's the backstory to New York Mets legend, Keith Hernandez. Keith Hernandez, who has been part of the Mets organization for 40-plus years. He's one of the most beloved players in organization history. He's part of their broadcast team for the last 20 years.
Yeah, and he snubbed us when we worked at SNY.
And I love Keith Hernandez.
No, that's cool.
But no, Keith Hernandez
but you know what, Rich?
openly talks about when he was traded from Whitey Herzog's Cardinals to the Mets, he thought about, like, I may quit. Mets, they stunk.
And it worked out for the best.
And he ends up becoming
and
the face.
Everybody loves him there.
Yeah.
He's the face of the franchise. He's the dude. He's the guy. Everybody rolls out the red carpet for Keith. He's one of the legends.
And it's no secret that when he got traded from the Cardinals, he was an MVP for St. Louis.
Yeah, he didn't want to go there.
He told his agent, like, do whatever you can to stop this.
But again, Rich, you said it before. It's part of the story. It doesn't make it bad. It makes it actually more interesting. When you ask people about their relationships, how much pride, how much fun does the woman usually, it's usually the woman who says something like this, and I say this respectfully, oh my God, when I met Sam, it's like I kind of hated him.
And then, like,
I really hated him. Like, I was like, no, ew. And then, oh my God, I got to know him, and he's the best. And then he asked me out, and then, now we're in love, and now we're married. But it's always that part of the story that pulls you in, like, oh, wow, yeah, you hated him, right? That's how Caleb Williams felt.
I'll be honest.
But again, here we go. Every great story starts that way.
I'll pat you on the back because for the rest of the weekend, you and I are not pals because of the Mets Yankees, but that is so freaking accurate.
Right?
How many relationships are like,
oh my God, I couldn't stand him.
When we first
he was
met,
so full of himself.
When we first met, I was like, ew. And then the girl's like, and then I loved him. And you know what? Chicago, there's your Caleb Williams front end of your story. hopefully the back end of your story, I like a nice back end.
Who does?
Hopefully the back end of that story for Chicago is a Super Bowl at some point with this guy, and then you'll laugh at
He'll
this.
make a speech, like, man, when I first heard about, I wasn't playing Chicago, I didn't know how to feel about it.
And you remember even my pop said, you don't want to go.
Pops was like, man, I don't know if this is best for you, but Chicago, you changed my life. I love you. We did it.
And he's got Ben Johnson. He's got a guy who was one of the best play callers in the NFL the last few seasons with the Detroit Lions. So the hardware of Chicago was their reputation and just the franchise in general and not having great quarterbacks for so long. Yeah. The software is Ben Johnson. The software is what you can change in and out.
Yep.
The reputation is the software that can be changed.
I was saying that's a great point. You're right, because the criticism came with people that have since been let go.
Exactly. Yeah. So this could be a great love story like any other one. It starts off a little rocky, just a little bit. Everybody has their challenges, but good for them. It's not that it's not interesting. It is. It's really interesting. I just don't think it matters much.
Hold on. I gotta look. I'm sorry. I gotta call up my my Bears schedule. I won't watch your corny video. Don't worry.
The Rich loves to look at the schedule game.
Schedule watching. It's true. I love a little schedule watching. I'm trying to see who the Oh, this is gonna be
Rich
a good
loves
one.
watching butt cheeks walk by at the gym and NFL schedules.
I'm the guy that, come the football season, I'll be able to tell you who plays who like week 7. I don't know why. It's just I'm fascinated with looking ahead.
It is important, but man, jeez.
Week 1, suckers. Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings at the Bears. So Caleb Williams starts out with the new system in place, new coaches in place. Week 1 at home, hosting what it seems to be J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings. So that should be a great Monday night matchup. It's funny. You look at all the matchups for week 1 of the NFL, and because no one has sucked or been awesome yet, you can make a case that every game is awesome.
Do I have to watch every lame announcement video, or can I just look it up?
No, from now on, I'm demanding that if you need to know.
I can't be the only one that's like, yeah, whoopity-doo. They made some goofy parody. This is terrible.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Honestly, I couldn't sit through 30 seconds of any of those videos.
Let me see. Who do the Atlanta Falcons play? Let me watch their Mario Kart video. No, you don't want to.
No, honestly, no. I don't want to play Mario Kart. I don't want to watch this video.
All right.
Maybe that's just proof that my attention span is non-existent thanks to social media.
Right. The Ravens actually had a cool one. They had like a Severance themed one. That was like kind of okay.
Great. I think by the time Rich showed me that one, I had fallen asleep.
Yeah, I had to nudge him. He had dozed off. I was like, Camino and the Ravens. He's like, what, bro?
But again, we went over the top 5 on Overpromised, our bonus podcast. You could watch it and judge for yourself. That's on Fox Sports Radio's YouTube page.
All right, well.